Well, considering all the war movies John Wayne starred in, it's kind of ironic when you consider that he was never actually in the service. It's been said that he was too young for World War I, and he was too old the second time around, so there he was. His co-star Robert Ryan did see action in World War II, though. He had service in the Marines. After his return, he continued fighting the war on screen in movies like The Longest Day, Battle of the Bulge, The Dirty Dozen was a favorite of mine. Don Taylor, who played the cowboy who lost his leg, went on to a directing career with films like Tom Sawyer and Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Finally, we had Janice Carter, who played John Wayne's wife in this movie, and she did what a lot of beautiful actresses did when they've had their fill of Hollywood. She turned around, she married a wealthy man, and she moved to Sarasota, Florida. Now let's take a look at this.
Next, on American Movie Classics, a bounty hunter's determined to bring down a band of desperados. Robert Ryan, Robert Preston, and Claire Trevor star. The best of the Badmen. It's next on American Movie Classics.
They brought filmmaking to new heights. Because of their genius, cinema became art. Dazzling technique made their films far more real. Daunting subject matter made their films far more compelling. Movie screens around the world exploded with their vision. Through their eyes, the camera told stories both unbelievable and irresistible. They became household names, and their legendary works a part of history. Now AMC celebrates the achievements of Hollywood's finest directors and producers with an exclusive weekly series, The Movie Makers. On the next Movie Makers, Marlene Dietrich steals John Wayne from the Navy in their first pairing on the silver screen. Director Tay Garnett's classic romance, Seven Sinners, Saturday at 5 and 11 Eastern on The Movie Makers. Coming soon on AMC.
What makes you think this is a Nazi ship?
Well, I have been shelled by submarines. They shoot to sink, but this boat has only been hit above the waterline.
And you think she's a mothership for the U-boats?
I think we both would like to know.
I'd like an answer.
To what?
To you. Why you're aboard and why you're going to Trebo. Where is she?
What does it matter? You're all the same as hostages now.
Have everyone go up on top of the cliff. Everyone. He says he has the ship wired to go up in 20 minutes. He's likely bluffing, but we can't chance it.
He'd do it, Pat. The way he talks to me, I think he's really crazy.
Now, hurry.
My father'd leave a ship at sea if he were alive?
Truth.
How would you like utopia, Johnny?
What kind of utopia?
Me. And all the money you can ever spend.
Temptation.
It's you and me now, Johnny.
Making that pretty hard to believe.
Terror. Claire Trevor, George Raft, in a suspense thriller of cross and double cross. Johnny Angel, Friday on AMC.
The Forerunner to North by Northwest.
There were two detectives just here. They said that you killed him.
I killed him.
The first Hitchcock film to use famous monuments.
What do they want?
For something somebody else did.
With over 4,500 camera angles.
Hold on, Frank.
Director Alfred Hitchcock's technical masterpiece. Saboteur, premiering Friday, September 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern on AMC.
The chills, the spills, the thrills. AMC knows what scares you. Every Friday night at 11, it's AMC's Friday Night Frights. Next time, a scientific experiment goes awry when a mild-mannered man turns into a reptilian beast in The Alligator People. On the next Friday Night Frights, 11 Eastern, only on AMC. Thursday, August 27th is Martha Ray's birthday, and AMC is celebrating with 4 Jills and a Jeep. The party starts here at 9:30 Eastern, only on AMC. Welcome to post-war Berlin, where a certain high-minded congresswoman has come to inspect U.S. troop morale.
There's something funny going on around here, and I'm not in the mood for laughs.
What she finds instead is the last thing she expected.
Don't!
Why not? You're not a Nazi. Don't tell me it's subversive to kiss a Republican.
Jean Arthur, John Lund, and Marlene Dietrich star in Billy Wilder's black market comedy, A Foreign Affair. Thursday on AMC.
People are constantly saying, I want you in my film, I want you in my film. And I would go and see them, and I would sit and talk to them, and they would be going.
I'm glad that Jesse's had this triumph in Miss Daisy in the 48th year of our marriage rather than the second one. Yeah. Otherwise, I think the marriage would never have lasted.
Get an inside look at the lives and careers of 2 legendary stars in Professor Richard Brown's Reflections on the Silver Screen, Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy. Wednesday on AMC.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Nobody knows that better than Hollywood. That's why when studios premiere a new film, they spare no expense to make sure the evening is memorable, even if the film isn't. The premiere has always been a major event. Back in those early days, stars treated a premiere as a formal affair that always included a sit-down dinner and a large dance floor. Have things changed? Today, premieres are not glamorous private parties, but media events. Technicians spend hours adjusting lights so stars can look like stars, especially for the cameras. What does the paparazzi think?
Premieres have been pretty crummy lately.
Maybe that's because stars treat premieres as less formal affairs, sometimes much less.
Things are different, you know. I think people are much more casual today. It's much more easy kind of thing. You do what you want to do.
And what stars want is star treatment. For Eddie Murphy, that means lots of bodyguards. Bodyguards like Doug Collins, who favors mouth over muscle when it comes to over-enthusiastic fans.
You have to get in there and say, no, look, you know you're wrong. I know you're wrong. You're not going to stay here. Let's make it easy, and there's no more discussion. You're moving.
I want no cars. They have to be a limousine.
For moving the cars of the stars, Hollywood calls on Chuck Pick. Hollywood's hyperactive valet king makes sure celebrities never have to worry about where to park.
This is an event. This is not just a premiere. As you can see, this is an event. This is something that only happens once.
One thing about premieres, no matter who walks by, nobody relaxes until the leading man shows up.
Now, once the stars are safely in the theater, the paparazzi has about a 2-hour break. But their job is far from over. The next big photo opportunity, the post-premiere party. And the budget for this affair, $150,000.
No sit-down dinner these days. Don't worry, people still eat. Boy, do they eat. These intimate parties of 1,000 or so are major Hollywood productions in themselves.
As you can see, by the props, the lighting, the entertainment, we're going to give the guests a complete experience, something that really stay with them.
And with a price tag of $500,000, no one will forget the party. They may forget the movie, but they'll never forget the party. Until tomorrow night when they do it all over again. For AMC in Hollywood, I'm Peter Jones.
New York has always had a kind of mythical pull for people that have never lived in New York.
You can stay within the boundaries of Manhattan and take a trip all over the world.
If you don't have a sense of humor,
survive in this theater.
The movies and the movie makers tell their stories about the Big Apple when AMC hits the street in its original production, Street Scenes, New York on Film, an AMC original production. Sunday.
The minute you leave New York, you're out of town.
AMC invites you to a double feature of fright. First, it's Alfred Hitchcock's classic film, Psycho. Then it's Hitchcock's notorious Saboteur. It's an Alfred Hitchcock double feature, Friday, September 11th, starting at 7 Eastern, only on AMC.
Hi, I'm Gene Clavin, inviting you to join me for Adventure tomorrow on AMC. First, John Wayne and Robert Ryan star in the wartime classic, The Flying Leathernecks, as officers and rivals. Then Goldie Hawn as a gal on the run in Sugarland Express, Steven Spielberg's first feature film. And you can bet there'll be a lot of monkey business when the Marx Brothers stow away on an ocean liner. So what do you say? Let's get away from it all. What do you say? Tomorrow. What do you say? Only on AMC.
If he isn't here already, that gun will bring him.
The Winchester 73, a perfect way to settle an old score.
That's Dutch Henry Brown. I thought you said you didn't know him.
I said I didn't recall the name.
Jimmy Stewart, Stephen McNally, and Shelley Winters.
Just never know when a girl might need a bullet.
In the gunslinging Western classic Winchester 73, Sunday on AMC. Richard Gere, Sam Shepard, and Brooke Adams are entwined in a strange love triangle set against the backdrop of America's heartland. An Academy Award-winning contemporary classic. Director Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven. Wednesday on AMC.
Well, you can't have it both ways.
Yes, you can have it both ways. See Ronald Colman as the sophisticated Jewel Pete. Then see David Niven as the sophisticated Jewel Pete. It's a Raffles double feature. Friday, August 28th at 7, only on AMC.
Did you know that there's only one magazine where you'll find stories about America's sweetheart, Lucille Ball? Or exclusive interviews with stars like Audrey Hepburn? Hi, I'm Cesar Romero. And if you love classic movies as much as I do, then American Movie Classics magazine is for you. It's your personal guide to AMC programming and the only magazine that takes you behind the scenes of Hollywood's golden age.
Call 1-800-535-7700 and order American Movie Classics magazine. Each issue features daily schedules with easy-to-read, detailed descriptions of every movie and original program on AMC that month. Every issue profiles your favorite classic movie stars and follows them behind the camera. AMC Magazine is the only magazine dedicated to bringing you beautiful, rarely seen photographs, entertaining and intriguing stories of classic Hollywood's most glamorous and renowned stars, letters to AMC host Bob Dorian, and a look into forgotten movie palaces brought back to their original splendor and elegance. To order AMC Magazine and save 50% off the cover price, call 1-800-535-7700. You can use your Visa or MasterCard or send check or money order for $11.95 to AMC Magazine, P.O. Box 2065, Marion, Ohio 43305. That's American Movie Classics Magazine, 1-800-535-7700.
So bring the classic movie experience home. Call now and order American Movie Classics magazine.
Well, everybody knows, I'm sure by now, that the Hollywood mentality has always said if one is good, two is better, and three is even better than that. In 1946, Hollywood released a film called Badman's Territory, a film that had wall-to-wall villains in it. Randolph Scott was the star, and it turned out to be one of RKO's biggest hits, so, of course, they had to do a sequel. It couldn't be the best of the Badmen because the bad guys hadn't returned yet. So how could they do a best of? So it turned out to be the return of the Badmen. Randolph Scott again starred, and Robert Ryan played the Sundance Kid. Well, this movie was also a big smash, so now they were ready for the best of the Badmen. It starred Robert Ryan and Robert Preston. Third billing was to go to Jack Butel. Now, Butel was an actor whose career took some very odd turns. He made his debut in 1941 in Howard Hughes' film The Outlaw, but The Outlaw wasn't released until 9 years later, 1950. It doesn't help your career an awful lot when nobody's seen your big debut for 9 years. But when it did come out, his talents were instantly recognized, and RKO signed him to star in the film we're going to see. Now, Butel's film credits only included westerns that were made during the 1950s, and after that he retired to become an investment counselor in Portland, Oregon. How's that for a switch in careers? Rounding out the cast, we have Claire Trevor, a New York-born actress who made her debut in the 1933 film Life in the Raw. She later won an Academy Award, by the way, for her performance in Key Largo. Well, here's a whole group of bad people that you're going to love to hate. It's called The Best of the Badmen.